Greetings, Internet Drinking Buddies. My name is Link. The show's name is Tubbin and Chugging. And on this episode, I'll be imbibing two sakes, hitting them against each other. Battle to the death. Not really. It'll be fun. Welcome back to the tub, everybody. Now, as both a fortunate man and someone, I guess, with a bit of a reputation, I received a few different alcohol-themed gifts this holiday season, two of which were bottles of sake, and two of which were sake cups, that we'll get into in a little second here. But given that the eggnog showdown seemed to be enjoyed by a lot of you, I figured, well, let's do another showdown. Let's take these two sakes that I got. One of them is very expensive, one of them is not as expensive. Let's pin them against each other in a friendly way, see what kind of interesting similarities and differences we can pull from them. So let's start with the Rihaku Wandering Poet. Wandering Poet is brewed in the Shimane Prefecture of Japan, and the Rihaku Brewery is currently being run by a fifth-generation sake brewer, or Koji. So an impressive lineage, to be sure. Their Wandering Poet here is named after a Chinese poet, who himself was named Li Po, who would apparently drink a bottle of sake and then write 100 poems, which, to be honest, kind of reminds me of my college essay writing style. 4 long years. But I digress. This sake comes in at 15.2% alcohol by volume and a cool $30 per fifth, which is going to translate to a pretty steep $5.26 per drink, which definitely puts us up in high-class liquor territory. Now, if you'll remember from my Shochiku episode, sake is typically distinguished by 3 metrics, starting with the rice polish ratio, RPR, which determines how much of the rice is left after the polishing process. Then we have the sake meter value, the SMV, which determines the sweetness of sake based on its density. And finally, we have the acidity, which determines the fullness versus lightness. Wandering Poet here has an RPR of 55%, which is a very premium number in order to get that low and still maintain the rice ratio, which is sort of expected given its price. Now, its SMV is +3, which puts it slightly on the dry side, but not overly dry. And then its acidity of 1.6 also puts it slightly on the rich side, but not too rich. It's recommended to drink this chilled, but not over ice, so just a little bit of time in the fridge before serving. And speaking of serving, I am very excited about these Fruit Blossom sake cups that I mentioned. They actually turn color when you pour in a cool liquid into them. So we're going to start with the Sakura here for the Wandering Poet. Let's see just how much of this I can get on camera here. It's already a little too cold out here. Might have already activated, but very neat looking nonetheless. Alright, Kapai. It's got like an immediate kind of schlooping effect that goes into it. A very clean sort of taste to it. I feel like, hold on. It's definitely good. Let's start with that right off the bat. It's good in a way that's like clean, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not tasting much of anything. No adulterants, no like kind of crazy sweet flavor, not like something hitting you over the head with like a dryness or anything like that. It's very clean and sort of straightforward taste. The word bland, unfortunately, comes to mind. That's a very harsh word to describe what this is, but what I guess I'm trying to say is that it doesn't lead me in any direction. You know, it doesn't give me like a, oh, here's your gingerbread taste, bro. Here's your like crazy sweet raspberry taste or something. This is kind of like what I imagine like a standard integration meter. Is that what they call it? SI? All my physics engineering friends are yelling at me right now. Whatever, like, you know, when they have like they used to have like a kilogram, everybody would go and measure their kilogram thing against this kilogram, and that'd be like what a kilogram is. They don't do it that way. They have like a new measurement for it now. But that idea of like, you take your sake up against this thing, and if it tastes like this, it's sake. Otherwise, they're like, no, this is sake with a dryness, or sake with an acidity. This just feels like a very pure is the word I'm going to use. Not bland, not clear, pure taste to it. No adulterants, no burn, no like anything leading you in any direction. It's just like, this is clean, pure sake. Very nice. Very just like mellow, and like this is what you pay for when you get it. Not like overtly leading you in any direction again, so like you kind of have to really just appreciate a classical, pure sake taste to enjoy this, given its expensive price. But very good. Very, very good. I feel like they accomplished what they wanted to with this drink, and they're definitely selling it at a price that makes me think they know that they have a good product here. So let's move on now to a different product, the Ozeki Sake Dry. Ozeki Sake Dry is our California competitor to the straight from Japan Wandering Poet. In fact, Ozeki is the first American sake brewer. Makes this sake straight from the Sierras. This particular sake comes in at 14.5% ABV, and it comes in a variety of sizes. Aggregate price somewhere around $1.50 per drink, depending on where you get it. I got the 1.5 liter, so thank you again. You know who you are. Obviously the big boy here. Now, it's recommended to drink this guy either chilled or heated up, so we'll try it chilled here. Just keep it in the fridge for more than a few hours, and you should be good to go on it. Going back to our 3 key metrics, we have a less premium 70% RPR, now a much, much drier SMP of +8, and a very, very light 1.3 acidity. So go ahead and use the Plum Blossom sake cup for this guy, the Ume, and we'll pour it in there. For this, I'll use the Okinawan Curry. Hits you with that dryness kind of right away. That just overtly, it's less acidic, put it that way, but the dryness comes out. Think of like the rind on like a fruit or something. You get down to like the skin, and you're getting more of the skin than the juice of the fruit, and that's kind of the overwhelming dryness flavor that I'm getting here. It's not necessarily bad, it's just a little different. And I think my palate is definitely more attuned the other way on the dry scale. Not to say it's bad, again, just a little different than what my taste profile would go for. This actually feels like it'd be better hot than chilled, which is good because I have a microwave and I have a lot more sake of it to drink. But I think the dryness would definitely be appreciated more in a hot form than in like a piercing cold form, which is what I've got here. Pretty good value for the product. I mean, obviously compared to the other one. I mean, it's good enough to keep sipping on, for sure. Just a little different kind of kick to it that gives you like a sort of immediate like zzz, kind of again, that rind of the fruit just digging in there and really dominating the flavor. More as the other one is just kind of like, you imagine the flavor because it's so pure. This one is like telling you what the flavor is in an aggressive kind of way. And if you like that dry kind of flavor, I think this is good for you. And again, I think this would be better hot. A little bit more than just a sip. You definitely get more of an after kind of kick that drives you back into the dryness, starting from the top, coming back, starting very dry, kind of mellowing, and then if you have a lot of it, it gives you a nice little dry kick at the end. So if the dry taste is what you're after, if you kind of like that idea of really getting down to the skin of a fruit and getting that dry extract away from it, this might be your product. For me, I'm going to try it hot. Feel like that's going to be the better choice. But overall, I think it's good value for what it is. I like the Wandering Poet. I think probably more, and that makes sense given its price. It's just a clearer, kind of mellower sipper kind of thing. And this would definitely be like a hot sake, kind of have it with like a karage or some kind of other fried meat type thing with just hot sake. Yeah, I think that's the Ozeki sake dries home. As always, let me know if there are other sakes or just any other liquors you'd like to see me review. If you like the Showdown format, let me know. And if you have an interesting idea for what another one of those could be, I'm all ears. But as always, please drink responsibly.